Well, I'm on my way from the Meadows to Northfield. We had a great day today. One starter, one winner. He wasn't very kind to my wrist or the rest of my body. I'll play it alone. My God, he's like a big giant Clydesdale jammed into this little horse. My God, he can pull. Little by little, he was better than he was, obviously, I think, for Sylvain. A little bit better today, so inch by inch we're getting him better. I was going to leave him at the Meadows, and then I realized his next stake race isn't for a month. I'm now going to ship him home. We'll race him at Mohawk once, see if I can get him a little more calmed down and under control. Tim's done a great job with these horses. We actually left 3 or 4 horses with him. They're hung up good. He's just got to take care of them. It looks like he's got a great setup, so I think it'll work out really well. We did send some horses to John Boutenshane also. And then we still have Sebastian Hughes slated to go to Andrew when we get him squared away, hopefully on Friday morning. So the reason I'm making this video driving down the road is because I got a call from Melissa McKee, Dr. Melissa McKee. She had looked at just a tad. She said she injected his joint. She said no big deal. I assumed that would happen. She also looked at Excellent Nation. Now, here's the story. Excellent Nation trained down. He was always a little scabby on that left hind, so he always showed a tiny bit of discomfort, let's say, on that left hind, but a lot of horses do from time to time. I mean, I'll play it alone, raced with a razor pad on his left hind today because he also has shown discomfort. These horses aren't perfect. They're athletes. They get hurt. We do the best we can to keep them together and heal them up. Excellent Nation was scratched, as you know, at a Sarnia by the vet. Danny said he didn't think he was too bad, but obviously worth noting and worth looking at. We sent him to the vet to get looked at. She thought she found 10 days ago. She thought she found a notch in his pastern. Now, that didn't make sense to me. A notch in a pastern would make a horse very lame, and he wasn't. Sure, he was lame enough for you to look at him, but not broken pastern lame at all. So I was skeptical. Stand him in the stall for 7 to 10 days, pull to some pack, or keep him alone, leave him alone, cool it out as best you can. We'll get a real good look at him with the x-ray. Now, the reason it takes 10 days, sometimes it takes 7 to 10 days for undetectable lines to open up where even an x-ray can see them. Sometimes when you x-ray yourself, even humans, after an incident, you may not see that line, and then you go back and like, oh, it's there. 7 to 10 days. Ollie, just 1 sec, bud. So it takes about, Ollie, 1 sec, bud. It takes about 7 to 10 days for these lines to show up. So she looked at him today. She said, listen, the notch is still there. It doesn't present like a pastern. I do see a line in his sesamoid. Also doesn't present like a sesamoid, she said, but he does have an OCD that could have rattled loose in his ankle. Now, here's the thing. Muscle Hill raced and still to this day has OCDs in his hind ankles. It's not that they can't race with them, but they can become uncomfortable sometimes. Now, we can inject that ankle, and he would likely sound up to the point we could race him. Here's the rub. If we inject this horse's ankle and race him, and that shadow isn't just a shadow, or that notch isn't just a notch, there's a good chance he could break either his pastern or his sesamoid, and that would be extremely detrimental to his career. Would he make it back? Probably. Would he be the same horse? Probably not. So, 2 things. I trained him 2.5 weeks ago with another colt. His name is the Amazing Sando. I beat him handily, 28 seconds, 27 and 3, something on the end of it. I blew right by him. They just sold Amazing Sando for $100,000 2 days ago. So there's talent. There's undoubtedly talent. And I see a seismic shift in his attitude since we castrated him. If we take this OCD out, which could be causing the pain, his downtime will allow any other things like that notch, that may be a notch, and that line, that may be a line, to heal up. So in 6 to 8 weeks, when we start him back jogging, we'll have the very best form of Excellent Nation we could have. Obviously, he would miss his stake races. We could race him a couple of times in the fall in Ohio, in Ontario, pay him into that late closer series they have. I think they have one that isn't just Ontario breds, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But race him 2 or 3 times, turn him out. This whole colt could be any kind of colt. If you look at the colt we just raced, I'll play it alone. He's every bit as good as that colt. He feels like he is, and beat him many times training. He just won a Stallion Series event at the Meadows in 154 and 4. What I'm saying is, if this was a claimer, we could inject that ankle and say, we'll keep an eye on it, make sure that it isn't that line, it isn't a notch, and see if we can keep them together. He's not a claimer. It's a good little colt, and especially looking at what could take place by simply taking that chip out. You know, it's what, $1,500, $1,600 to take that chip out. The downtime from the recovery of the chip will heal all that else is going on in that ankle. If the notch is a notch, it will be healed up in 6 to 8 weeks. If the line is a line, it will be healed in 6 to 8 weeks. So my recommendation, solely from somebody who likes the horse and has to do what's right for the horse, somebody who doesn't own the horse. I don't own any of Excellent Nation. I would take the chip out, let the horse heal up, and you will see some kind of nice horse, I think, come fall in Ontario. All you're risking is not hurting him, and what, a few dollars to race him in the Buckeye. These Ohio sires are going to go in 51 all summer. So we're going to have a Buckeye colt. That's a coin flip away from potentially hurting himself if we don't do it. I mean, obviously we want to do what's right for the horse. I think it's a no-brainer. We simply shut him down, take that chip out immediately. 6 to 8 weeks from now, we start him back up, jog him for a few weeks, start training him back. I highly doubt there'll be any issues at all with this colt after that. You'll be doing him the world of good, and he'll probably reciprocate that with dividends this fall and winter, and again, spring and summer of next year. So, I'm not so sure it's horrible news. Obviously, it would have been good if they said, oh, there's nothing wrong. Still got to deal with that soreness and stiffness in his left hind. This way, we can treat one certain issue that is bothering him and treat two that may be bothering him at the same time. So I think it's a win-win for the horse and a win-win for the ownership group. I think it's a smart thing to do. I think we're going to go ahead and operate on Excellent Nation. Take that chip out that looks like it rattled loose in the last few weeks. Take that chip out and give the downtime. I think during that downtime, everything else will fix itself, and we will have the best kind of Excellent Nation we can possibly have. I think he deserves that from what I saw 2.5 weeks ago. If I owned him, that's exactly what I would be doing. So that's my recommendation to you. I believe that's what we're going to do going forward. We've had a great run here in Pennsylvania. We're going tonight to race our 4 best fillies we have in Ohio, 3 best colts in tomorrow. What about sometimes things happen? Sticks got the job done, first lifetime start, 201 last quarter, 29. We have had an incredible run at the stable to start out the year. We want to keep it rolling. So, obviously it's easier for me to bring this update to you via video, as I'm 40 minutes from Northfield Park. I'm going to be exhausted by the time the races are over tonight. I'll play it alone, put me through the ringer today, and then we got to drive all the way to Columbus tonight. So just made more sense to do it this way. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'll be driving tonight for 2 hours, or you can text me, email me, and I'll get back to you. Some of you I've already reached out to, but as I said, this looks like the smartest way to do it. So that's it. Great. Now we're driving into the rain. I don't like that. Oh well. Anyway, as I said, it's been a great week. We hope to keep it going the rest of the summer. Excellent Nation, I think this is a no-brainer for me. I'm sure it is for you also. I'll talk to you guys soon. Remember, if you have any questions, just email me, text me, or call me. Take care.